Hello everyone, welcome back to Data Analytics with Mr. George. Today we are diving into some essential Excel functions that every beginner data analyst should know. We'll cover COUNTIF, COUNTA, SUMIF, AVERAGEIF, and the logical operators AND and OR. Each of these functions is incredibly useful when working with data. And by the end of this video, you will know how to apply them to analyze data more efficiently. So let's get started. First up, we are starting with COUNTIF function. COUNTIF is used when you want to count the number of cells that meet a specific condition in a range. Before us is our sales target. We want to know how many people have sales above 70. We have from John to Jake. These are the sales targets. We want to know how many have sales over 70. So every of your function will start with an equal sign. Then after equal, I'm going to write the COUNTIF. As you write, suggestions will come. You select your COUNTIF. Then next, I'm going to select the range. I'm looking at G3 to G10. G3 and then to G10. That is the range of the sales made by this sales rep so far. G3 to G10. I'll now have my comma. Then what I'm looking for is sales that is above 70. I'm going to write it inside a quote. I'm going to write my quote. Sorry, way back. Here is our formula. I'm going to write it inside this quote. So it's going to be greater than 70. Greater than 70. So four people only made it. Equal sign, COUNTIF, G3 to G10, comma, my quote, double, which is the criteria. This is COUNTIF, the range, and then the criteria for what will happen in this range is I want people that made sales target above 70. So we have 4. That is what the COUNTIF function is used for. Next, we are looking at COUNTA. What does the COUNTA function does? Unlike COUNTIF, COUNTA simply counts all non-empty cells in a range. Non-empty cells in a range is perfect when you need a quick count of all the entries in a list, even if some of the cells are text numbers or a mix of it. So we have attendance list from John to Jake, and we have present here, yes or no. Then you could see there's an empty cell. So I want to know the number of non-empty cells, the cells that are not empty. My equal sign, then counter, open my bracket, and then what value am I looking at? I'm looking at H3 to H10. So between this H3 to H10, looking at H3 to H10, which is the range. Close my bracket. 6. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the cells that are not empty are 6, while 2 are empty. That's what you could use counter for. Next, we are looking at SUMIF. Now, what do you do with SUMIF? This SUMIF function allows you to add up values in a range that meet a specific condition. that meet a specific condition. Let's say, for example, we want to sum up the prices of product over $100. These are the prices of product 1, 2 to 75. I want to sum of product that the prices are above 100. My equal sign, SUMIF. I'll have to open my bracket, then I have to select my range, which is H3 to H9, H3, H9. I've gotten my range. So what is the criteria for summing? The criteria for summing is if they are greater than 100. So by doing that, you make sure they are inside this quote. Inside, that's where you put the criteria. So I'm looking for greater than 100, greater than 100, and I'm going to close the bracket and press enter. So the sum now is 2,400, 1,002, 600, 400, 200 is being summed, and it gives us 2,400. Don't forget, I'm looking for the prices that are above 100. Sum the prices if they are above 100. So the prices above 100 now are 2,400. Next, we are looking at our if function. The if function is a core logical function that this function actually lets you return different values depending on whether a condition is true or false. Whether a condition is true or false. Let's say, for example, I want to label a student score here as pass or fail based on the threshold of 50. Based on the threshold of 50. Let's look at this student, John, equal our if function, bracket, then I'm looking at John now. H3 is John. So if John's score is greater than or equal to 50, that's I'm talking of a threshold of 50, bracket, comma, then inside your quote I'll have the first result, the first I want to see, pass, comma, my quote, then next is fail. So I'm saying is John, if John's score is greater than or equal to 50, it should be pass or fail. So let's see our answer. So I have pass actually. So it means it fits my condition, which is if John's score is greater than or equal to 50, pass. If not, fail. The score is greater than or equal to 50, so it will be pass. So that is pass. What of if I want to use, let me check for Mary. I could do that for Mary. If, let's say for example, H4, this is 50. Let's go to a 45 and use that same thing we use for John. If greater than or equal to 50, comma, we are looking at pass, comma, inside your quote, fail, anything you cover. So that's fail. I just use the same thing similar to John for Alice actually. So if her score is greater than or equal to 50, it's going to be pass. If it's not, it's fail. Then we have a fail for Alice. Next, we are looking at average. Average. Average is similar to SUMIF in the sense that average if allows you to find the average of values that meet a specific condition. Let's say you are tracking temperatures across different cities and want to find the average temperature only in the city with values above 30 degrees. Cities with values above 30 degrees in temperature. Your equal sign, you type in average if, you open your bracket. Then what is the range I'm looking? I'm looking at range from 30 to 28. So H3 to H8, H3, H8, then comma. What is my criteria? What is my criteria? I'm going to put my my quote here after the comma. Then I'm going to put greater than 30. Greater than 30. I'll now close. So it's 37.5. 37.5. That's the average across cities with temperature above 30. Next up, we are looking at logical operators. Finally, let's look at logical operator and or. These are useful within if statement when you need to test multiple conditions. When you want to test multiple conditions. Let's say, for example, I want to label applicants as eligible if they are over 25 years old and have an income above 40,000. Let's write the formula. Your equal sign, we'll use it within if function that we just saw. If, then the and, then I open my bracket. Let's say, for example, above 25. I'm using the age now, I3, which is 30, greater than 25. My comma, I'm also using J3, which is the income of the person, is greater than 40,000. 1, 2, 3, 40,000. Close my bracket. Then I have my comma. Then I want to have my quote. Then I'm going to put eligible in between. Eligible. Then next, I'm going to put not eligible in between. Not eligible. So what I'm saying is, if John is greater than 25 and has an income above 40,000, he is eligible for a particular loan. If he is not above 25 and he doesn't have income above 40,000, he should be not eligible. That is a condition here. So what shows us is John is eligible. Why is he eligible? Because of this AND logic function. If John is above 25 in age and he has an income above 40,000, he is eligible. If he doesn't meet this requirement, he's not eligible. And the requirement has to be both sides. He has to be above 25 in age and he has to have an income of 40,000. That is it for AND. Both sides have to meet the requirement before this eligible he will be eligible. He can't be above 30 and have less than 40,000 and be eligible. No, he will not be eligible. So both sides have to meet the condition. So the condition for AND is the two conditions have to be true. He has to be above 25 and he has to have income above 40,000. So John is eligible. Now, I want to label applicant as consider if they are over 30 or have an income above 50,000. I'm using the or now. We just finished using and. Watch how I use or here. If I open my bracket, I'm using or. If John is greater than 30, we have used John already. Let's try and use another person, not John. Let's use Sarah. Let's say Sarah. This is Sarah here, J7. I'm using the I7. If Sarah is greater than 30, that's the first condition. Also, if she have an income below 60,000, because her income is 60,000. So if she have an income below 60,000 or below 20,000, let's use below 20,000. If she has an income below below 20,000, close my bracket, comma, and my first condition is consider her. That's my first condition, consider. Then my second is hold. Hold. Did you see? Consider. So normally, if it is and, it will have to meet these two conditions, which is she has to be above 30 and then she'll have to have less than 20,000. But in this, because of this or, she only meets one of the conditions, that is she's above 30. But obviously, she doesn't have less than 60,000. So it will meet the condition consider. Why is it meeting the condition? Why is it consider at the end of the day? Because she meets this condition, you should be greater than 30. So unlike our and, that you have to meet the condition of both sides, when it comes to or, you just need to meet one of the condition, and she just met one of the condition, and that is she's above 30. That is it for logical operator. Thanks for joining me today as we went through some key Excel functions. These functions: COUNTIF, COUNTA, SUMIF, AVERAGEIF, and logical operators and or are foundational for anyone stepping into data analysis. Practice this and they will soon become second nature in your data work. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit notification bell for more data analysis tips. And drop a comment below if you like to see more tutorials like this. Thanks for watching.